Good morning, 6th and 7th graders. We're going to go over real quick. I want to go over your statistic project. So I want you guys to learn to use Google Slides to create line graphs and box and whisker plots. So I downloaded this program, and what I want you to do, so on Monday, you're going to go through line plots, and this is what the Google slide is going to look like. And slide it over here so you guys have the whole thing. And it's just going to ask you to follow these steps. So basically, it's just getting you used to clicking on the number 1. You have to hold it down and you drag it over. Click on number 2, drag it over. So you're going to go through and you're going to complete a couple things here. So that's the first step. And then it says increase the size of the box. So you have to first click on it down here. The line, okay, the box, sorry. So if you click on the box, and then you can drag and pull from the corners to make the box bigger. You can make the box wider. You can slide down. You got to click off to get off of the box. Click on the box, grab the corner, and it'll go over. Okay, same thing, go over to the sides. Here you can spin the box in different directions if you need to. So if you click on the circle on the top, you should be able to spin it. So this is just a practice, making sure you know how to go through and do these. The next thing is to stack the X's. So you first have to click on it, and then you've got to hold down. Oh, give me a Z because it's not what I wanted to do. Click on it, hold down, and then I can move the X to where I want. So it's just having you practice how to move things and make these figures. So that's what this first slide is, okay? As you go along here, it's saying use the data of the reps each member of the football team completed deadlifts, move each X to create a line plot, also find the measure of central tendencies. So over here, 3, 7, 5, 7, 5, 6, 8, 3, 5. This is your data over here. So we can see there's 3 5s. So then you're going to go and you're going to take 3 X's. All right, so this is what you're going to do on this assignment. Now, you are going to get a little more practice finding the mean, the median, and the mode. So you do need to go through those 3 things. Remember, the mean is your average. Median is you put the numbers in order and cross them out. And mode is the most often used. We also talk about that being our peak on a line plot. Okay, so if you have 1, 2, 3, 5s, you're going to put 3 X's above 5s, and so on. You're going to go through and you're going to complete every single one of these slides. There is a little bit of a writing activity right here, so take the time and do it, okay? So Monday's assignment is just to go through and complete the line plots here. On Wednesday, same thing, but it's a box plot, okay? So here they're giving it to you. They're giving you your data. On a box plot, remember, you need to find the median. All right, and then you can drag these over. Now, I'm going to want to spin this box. Okay, so I'm not sure what numbers. I'm not giving you the answers here, so you're going to have to do the math to get the numbers. You're going to grab this line, you're going to bring it over, and you're going to put it in the center or wherever it is in this box, because that's your median. Then you're going to drag these over in order to get your thing. Now remember, you're going to make this smaller or larger. So if I decide that my lower extreme is 3, then I have to grab it. I'm clicking on and I'm holding down as I drag it, okay? So you click on the corner of the circle, hold and drag, and that allows you to move it whichever way you want. I want it on the 3, so I'm going to do that so that it ends at 3. All right, and then I do need this to extend because remember, box plots extend all the way to the box, the lines do. So something like that. Mine's a little bit diagonal, so then maybe take a second and straighten it so it looks nicer. We'll bring this up a little bit. Oh, that was a little too far. And you just have to be patient and drag and click, okay? So I do want to make sure you guys understand that. Now, if you do have an outlier, you can just add a text box, and you can just put like a dot or a star is what I usually use as a star. So that would be an outlier, and that's kind of hard to see. So if I click on it and I can make my font bigger, and oops, sorry, I didn't mean to click on that. And I make it bigger, there is my outlier. Okay, then I can, once again, you can move that box around. Let's say I decide that there's an outlier at 8. In this data, there is not an outlier. In your statistic project, you will have outliers. So you will need to go through and add those stars where you need to, and we'll go through that, okay? So once again, for the create a graph box plot, this is the exact same screen that you saw on the other one, so you don't need to do slide 1 on Wednesday. Just go straight to slide 2. Use the data for the football number of reps. So here's your data, 16857574726. And you can actually slide these, so you could put them in numerical order over here if you wanted to. Okay. So you can also move those over in order to get them in order like you want. So there is Monday and Wednesday's activities, line plots and box plots. Then you're going to look at your statistic project on your coronavirus. Okay, so statistic project. So we have 6th, 7th, and 8th, 6th and 7th grade. You're both doing the same project. I wanted to take a minute and develop the data for the coronavirus. I would have loved to have done all of Indiana, but then that was a lot of computation with math. So we are only going to do District 2, and I'm going to explain what that means. So first of all, slide 2 explains that Thursday you can do 2 slides, Monday 2 slides, Wednesday 2 slides, Thursday 2 slides in order to get it done. If you want to complete all of them this week, then you'll just be done and you can turn it in. If you only want to do half of it, that's fine. You do need to get it started this week on Thursday, though. I need to at least see that you've gotten into it. That way that next week you won't have as much to do on the last week. Here's the data as of May 9th, because I went through and I made it on Saturday. So here the data is going to change. If you actually click on the website, the data will look different. But as of Saturday, this is what the data was on May 9th. Each of these represents a county. So we're right here in 31. This is Marshall County. That's where we live. 773 is St. Joe. You'll go down here and see Marion County is 7,000. That's the Indy area. Notice that more popular places have bigger. This is Highland area up by Gary and Chicago. So theirs is really big too, 2,000. You do notice that. Just some little bit of background on the coronavirus. You see that this is 1,497, which is really big for all compared to all of these areas. They had an outbreak at a Tyson chicken factory. So that's why that number got so big, is one of the factories in Logansport had an outbreak. So that is where that's coming from. We are going to just focus on, here it shows the same state map, excuse me. And this is deaths, okay? So we've only had one in Marshall County, which is awesome. Notice that the areas that had the higher population that we just talked about have had more deaths. So that is a negative that you have seen. So we're going to focus our data on District 2. So if you didn't know, the state is broken up into districts. So there is 7 districts in District 2. We are one of them. We're Marshall County. So 7 counties in District 2. So we're going to use these data. So 773 we see and 410. Those are a little bit big, and we'll consider those outliers as we go through this data. Okay, so as you go through the slides, these are the numbers we're focusing on. Slide 5 and slide 6 are your 2 that you're going to focus on. I just put 3 and 4 in there because I wanted you to be able to see the data and see where I was getting this District 2 information. So slide 7, you're going to go through and you're going to fill this out. Now, if you do need another slide for that, that's fine. You can add a slide or in order to represent your data. Then you're going to go through and you're just going to complete slide 8, 9, 10. It's very self-explanatory exactly what you need to do. Order the data, median, least to greatest, okay? And then 11 is going to be your line plot. So here's your X's again. You're going to click on them and you're going to drag them over. Now, I made this zigzag right here, and this is really important that you see that this zigzag is designed because this is our spot for our outliers, okay? So you're going to enter your outliers there, and you're going to make your line plots here. You need to take a text box, and then if you click below it, then you can enter a number. So let's say we're going to count by 2s. Let's say we go 30. I'm going to make my text box a little bigger, and then you need to count by each of them. So then I can go over here. I can add another one. We're going to count by 2. So I'm going to say 32, and then I'm going to go to 34 and so on. You don't have to count by 2s. This was just an example of how to do it and go through and count. Okay. Line plot, same thing. You've got to hit text box up here at the top. You got to bring it down, and then you've got to type in a number in order to get that number there. And you can also drag and make your boxes bigger and smaller, slide it over. If you click and hold, you can slide it. All right. So I know this was a longer video than I normally do, but wanted to go through all 3 of these assignments. So you need to reference this video if you have questions on how to do any of these, your statistic projects and anything this week. Awesome, guys. Have a great week.